Hello friends, I'm Alexis and welcome to my second Spookoplathon weekly vlog. If you're coming from my last Spookoplathon vlog, you know the deal. But if you're new here, we are doing Becca's Spookoplathon throughout the month of October and reading all of the horror books that I can get my hands on and squeeze into this month. Horror is my absolute favorite genre and I just simply do not read enough of it throughout the year. So in October, I completely dedicate myself to only reading horror books, and yeah, that's what we're doing. So far in week 1, we already completed 4 prompts and 4 books to match those prompts. I will link it if you missed it and want to watch that one first. And then going into this week, we are rolling over a prompt that I rolled in the last video, and that is for the Seance Square. I got the letter A, so we are reading a book that starts with the letter A, and that is All Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I am now 50% into the book and I'm really enjoying it. So thought it was time to give you a little bit of an update and a synopsis before I finish the entire thing. In this one, we are following a black sheriff named Titus in this small town in Virginia, and he is trying to catch a serial killer. We open up to a school shooting where a former student has shot and killed a really beloved teacher in the community, and then that student is shot by the police. But what starts as this really horrific event actually opens all these secrets that this teacher was hiding. So as Titus and the other police are investigating, they end up finding some really terrible stuff on the teacher's phone, computer, in his house. And what makes it even worse is that the former student who shot and killed the teacher was also involved in these terrible acts, along with an unknown third person who wore a wolf mask in all of the photos, videos, and other evidence that the police are able to dig up. So we are now looking for this masked serial killer who has been torturing and killing young children, and predominantly black children. So it's been really heavy so far, as you can imagine, dealing with those kind of topics. So at this point in the story, we are just following Titus in his investigation to try and catch this third person, figure out why these killings are happening, make sure no more happen, and to bring justice to these families who were wronged by this horrible person. So far, I'm really enjoying the story. I'm really invested in it. I want this killer to be caught and to get what he deserves for what he has done. I have no leads at all. I have no idea who this person could be. And just like S.A. Cosby's writing is so beautiful, even when writing about these horrible, tragic things. Like his imagery, like I am in this town seeing what Titus is seeing. It is a pretty long audiobook, if I didn't say. I'm listening to the audiobook from my library. So I still have 6 hours left. So no promises that I'll finish it tonight, but hopefully tomorrow at the latest. I am in the middle of my workday. It's 12:30 right now, so I'm taking my lunch break. But when I go back to work, I will hopefully continue to listen to it and continue to give you updates on how it's going. And then also another thing this counts for is Blackoween, which is another month-long readathon I am participating in. I don't know exactly what prompt I'm going to use it for. I know one of the locations has a prompt to read a crime novel and a novel by a black man, so this would fit both of those and probably a few other ones. Once I finish it, I'll actually go in and choose what I want to count it for, but yeah, just wanted to mention that in case you are also participating in that readathon and are looking for some recommendations. Really enjoying it. And then other than that, I actually filmed some clips yesterday, Monday the 7th, but I didn't talk to you at all. I was just having a rough day. So I'm gonna send you back to those, but kind of do a voiceover so you know what's going on. So first up, this is actually Sunday night. I decided to roll the dice to pick my next prompt because I wanted to start another physical read before bed. And we landed on the go space, which is to randomize your TBR. I have a super long list of all of the books I'm hoping to get to this month. So I counted them out and I plugged that into a random number generator and we got number 22. So of course, counting down the list, number 22 happens to be a library book that I do currently have out, and that is Your Shadow Half Remains by Sunny Moraine. I was super excited for this one because it is so short. It's only 159 pages, so I was super looking forward to just flying through it. So I started it right away that night. And then on Monday morning, of course, I signed into work and I had an annoying email from somebody. Everything's fine. It was an annoying issue that I didn't want to deal with first thing in the morning, drinks, which just kind of put me in a bad mood for the rest of the day. So I didn't really feel like vlogging. I didn't have any time to listen to my audiobook while working because it was so busy. So yeah, I was just in a bad mood for most of the day. I did end up going to the gym after work because Mondays are gym days, and I'm actually happy that I did because it put me in a much better mood. Part of that is Hocus Pocus was playing on the TV, so I got to watch that while walking on the treadmill. And then afterwards, we went grocery shopping as we usually try to do on Mondays. We made a really delicious dinner, and then I just spent the rest of the night reading more of this. I have like this complex with small books. I just am incapable of finishing them in like a timely manner because the whole time I'm like, oh, 150 pages? No big deal. I can read this in one day. Like I easily read 200 pages in one day, but for some reason, I just can't do it with short books. So I am currently sitting at page 53, and this is after 2 days of reading this. So this is definitely priority number 1 today. I want to finish this. I have no excuses. I need to get moving on my physical reads. So yes, this is getting finished today, probably later after work because I don't usually have time to read physically while I'm working. So far in this one, I'm liking it. It is sort of like the movie / book Bird Box. I haven't actually read the book, but I like the movie. So this is taking place in a post-apocalyptic sort of world where you cannot make eye contact with other humans or you will lose your mind. You'll become very, very violent to the point where you will both fight each other to the death and the remaining survivor usually commits suicide. We are following a woman named Riley who is living alone, as is probably the only option in this sort of situation. She has moved into her grandparents' house out in sort of the middle of nowhere, and one day as she is taking a walk in the woods, she comes across another human. They do not make eye contact. People in this have actually figured out that if you wear like blinders, like I'm picturing like horse blinders, you can talk to other humans as long as you are not actually making eye contact. What is happening behind me? The cats are fighting. Yeah, she meets this other man. Do we have his name? Oh yeah, it's Ellis. She meets this man named Ellis, and like it's sort of turning into a little bit of a love story. Like I'm rooting for them to get together. I don't know how that would work without them dying, but yeah, because this is like her first contact with another human after so long. I don't know if it says how long this has been going on, but long enough that like society has crumbled. She doesn't really have a lot of contact to the outside world. She doesn't have a cell phone. She is able to like order food and supplies and stuff, but like she made it a point to say like the shipments are getting farther apart. She's not getting everything she's requesting. So she is sort of expecting the resources to dry up pretty soon. So yeah, it's just a very bleak story so far. And then we have had a few descriptions of people actually fighting to the death in the streets. And it's not just like a normal like punching fight. It's like brutal. There's like biting and tearing of skin and like it goes full detail. So those scenes have been fun, if that's okay to say on the internet. It's just very interesting to see what's happening in this world. But yeah, I think that's all the updates I have for now. I'm gonna expose myself for wearing sweatpants on the bottom with a nice top because look at how cute Onyx is right now. Like he's just sitting next to me. He's like, I don't know why we're on the floor, but I'm gonna sit next to you for this vlog update. You good boy. I only have 15 minutes till I need to be in a meeting, so I'm gonna finish up my lunch break and get back to work, and I will see you later. In because I read just a few more pages. I have now made it to page 92. But before I get too much farther, I did want to let you know that around the 70 page mark, I think it was like chapter 14, there is an animal death on page. And it's a pretty brutal death, so just be aware of that. Prepare yourself. Maybe skim that part like I did. I would continue reading, but we are actually on our way out the door to go see a movie. It's our Tuesday night tradition that we have been going to the movie theaters because tickets happen to be half off on Tuesday nights. Me, Dan, and my sister are going to see the new Joker movie. I have heard it's terrible, but I'm looking forward to it. I really liked the first one, and I really like Lady Gaga, so I hope it's not bad, but I'll let you know my thoughts when I get back. So we're back from the movie, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, I need to tell you the unfortunate news that we are throwing Poe in the garbage because he is a trash dog that chews up library books. I'm so embarrassed. I have never returned a book back to the library in anything less than perfect condition. Like, they lend me their books and this is how I'm gonna treat them. I'm so mad at him. Like, whatever, if it would have been my own book, but you had to pick a library book. And he chewed up, like, one of my favorite bookmarks, but, like, still, at least I own that. This, I have to walk into the library and tell them, my dog ate your book. Wow, chewing on the thing you should have chewed on while we were gone. What a concept. Milo, why didn't you stop him? So, my night's kind of ruined. The movie was fine. I liked it. Dan did not. It was too much singing, but besides that, I liked it. And I'm just not in the mood to talk because I'm so upset over this. So yeah, I listened to more of All the Sinners Bleed. Still liking it. I'm at 80% of the audiobook, so I'll definitely be finishing that early tomorrow. I think my goal for tonight is going to be finishing this one. I have like 50-ish pages left. I don't really know how many because the dog ate my bookmark out of it, but we'll figure that out. So I am gonna go do that, and yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow and give you my final review of this one then when I am a little less angry. Hello friends, Editing Alexis popping in because I do not know where the clip of me reviewing these two books went. I guess I accidentally deleted it. Wouldn't be the first time. So I thought I would come in and give you my final thoughts. So I guess let's start off with Your Shadow Half Remains by Sunny Moraine. I ended up deciding on a 3-star rating for this one. My enjoyment of it definitely went down as time went on. It just got a little confusing. I couldn't really tell what was really happening and what was just in the character's mind. However, if you like those kinds of books, this one might work for you. I think I don't like that in books. There were also a lot of dream sequences, and I hate dreams in books, I'm coming to learn. It's just like, why are they necessary? And then yeah, you can never tell, like, is it actually happening? Is she imagining it? So this one did stay sort of like a horror love story the entire time, and I did like the ending, except when I went to review it on Goodreads, I scrolled to the bottom and you know how it shows you like what the book is tagged as, like the genres. It's tagged as queer, LGBT, and lesbian fiction, and I'm like, what was I missing? Because wasn't Ellis a man? I did kind of like go back and skim and see if pronouns were ever used, and they weren't. Like, the author literally just called them Ellis the entire time. So if Ellis was supposed to be a woman or non-binary, I missed that. And I feel like that's kind of an important thing that the author should have made more obvious. Like, I don't know, maybe I would have enjoyed it more knowing it was a queer couple we were following. Like, yeah, I think that definitely makes a difference with how it ended and like the themes of obsession and yeah, I don't want to go into it and spoil anything. Yeah, I don't like that it was sort of written ambiguous, and I was reading other reviews to see if other people caught it, and a lot of people refer to Ellis as a man, or like when they notice that it's labeled as a queer book, they're like confused. And then the next book that I finished, All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby, I am very happy to announce that one stayed a solid 5 stars all the way through. I love his writing. I love his books. I will definitely be picking up more in the future. Like, I liked Razorblade Tears, but it was never a favorite the way a lot of other people felt about it. I'm really happy that now I can like officially say he is one of my favorite sort of dark mystery thriller authors. And I enjoyed learning about our main character, Titus. That's something else about S.A. Cosby. He just writes such full, likable characters. Like, they just feel like real people. And oh my God, I can't believe I almost forgot. One of the best aspects of his books are like the heartfelt moments. So even though this book is super dark and depressing, we have these scenes with Titus's father and brother, like these family moments of like bonding and having dinner together. And they were just so wholesome and exactly what we needed to lighten the mood of the other parts of the book. But I think that is all that we missed, and now I'm going to send you back to past Alexis, and we are going to roll for our next Spookoplathon prompt. Hello, it is once again time to roll the dice to pick our next 2 prompts. I really like this system of doing one for a physical read and one for an audiobook. So we're going to keep it up. As a reminder, our last space we got was go to randomize your TBR. So we'll turn it this way so you can see. Put Bulbasaur on his space. Okay, have my dice. And we got 12, which is a double, but that works out because we were going to roll twice anyways. So that brings us to the poll pick space. I will think of a few options and I will post a poll onto my Instagram. If you don't follow me there, do. That way you can vote in any future ones. It's the same handle as my YouTube channel, Alexis Fully Booked. So yeah, the answer for this one will come in a little bit. And now we're going to roll again. And we got 8. Okay, feed scroll again. Just like last time, this could go really good or really bad. We lucked out last time that the book I got was The Ghost Eaters, and I ended up really, really liking it. But again, we're going to use the same rule that it has to already be on my hopeful list because I do not have time to be reading things not on the TBR this month. I have too much to get through. So I am going to pull up Instagram and we're going to see what our options are. Hello, me and Eva are back. We have selected a few books for the poll, and I'm going to make that now. So I chose 4 books. I put the covers into Canva. I blurred out the images, and then I selected like the most prominent image on the cover and used that color to then scribble it out more. I don't know. I thought it looked cool. I'm actually going to post emojis as the poll to like represent each book because like I've always wanted to do that. I really like when people do that and I like voting in them. So that's the plan. I've already thought of the emojis we're going to use. And yeah, let's make our poll and I will talk you through the options. Okay, which book should I start next? Okay, so option A is going to be It Came from the Trees, and this is a middle grade that I want to read for Blackoween. This is basically these 2 Girl Scouts are camping in the woods and they come across Bigfoot. So it's like a cryptid story. I really love creature features and I don't read enough cryptid books. Okay, so for this one, I want to do tree, a flashlight, and a foot for Bigfoot. Like, I can't believe there's not a Bigfoot emoji. Like, I definitely thought there was. Like, I can see it in my head too. It's like the side profile of him walking. Like, is it just me? Did they have this emoji in the past and take it away? But yeah, so B is going to be a book I do have physically. The first one, I would be reading it on my Kindle. If it's selected, I have it checked out from the library right now. But the next one, also a library book, but I actually have the physical edition, and that is Craft Stories I Wrote for, oh, I forgot, I have my screen recording up. That is Craft Stories I Wrote for the Devil by Amanda Lima, and this is a short story collection about a woman who sleeps with the devil and writes love stories to him. It sounds interesting. Another thing, if you have not caught on to the theme, is I want a short book. I want something that I could like read all tonight because we need to get a move on these books. Okay, so for this one, I want to do Right, Devil, and a Heart. For book C, this is another one that I am going to get from the library. My hold just came in today. I got the email. So once I'm done with work, I'll head over there and pick it up. I'm kind of hoping this one wins. And this is The Night Guest, which our emojis are going to be night, sleeping, and a glass of wine. This one is about a woman who's having some sleep problems, and one night she leaves like her Apple Watch on and she wakes up to learn that she took 40,000 steps while sleeping, so that sounds scary. I like books about like sleepwalking, ghosts getting you while you're sleeping. They are really effective for me. I think they're really creepy. So, and I've heard great things about it. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm excited for all of these, but like this is the one that I'm most excited to read right now. But I'd be happy if any of these win. And then the fourth option is going to be Graveyard Shift by ML Rio. I pre-ordered this one because If We Were Villains is like one of my favorite books ever, and I've been waiting for a new ML Rio book since I read that one. So for this one, we're going to do mushrooms, a rat, and a tombstone because, yeah. Oh, this one, I actually didn't know what this was about. I literally bought it just because of the author, but I just read the synopsis, and I guess it's about a bunch of people who like every night they cross paths in this cemetery. They're like all walking home from work or whatever, and then one day they all come across an open grave and they sort of explore it because it shouldn't be there or something. So yeah, sounds creepy. Very excited. I love this cover. So that is our poll. Okay, cute. Okay, sending that off into the world. Okay, now that that's posted, let's scroll and find my audiobook. Okay, as a reminder, I'm only picking books off of my hopeful list that I have or can get the audiobook to because I need an audiobook to listen to. We are already using the poll pick as our physical book, and yeah. All right, so first up, we have some great options, but none on my TBR. I really, really liked Bloom and Woman Eating though, so I'm gonna save this because I might like some of those other options. Okay. Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Dracula, those are gorgeous editions. But yeah, have read both of them. There. We have The Night Guest, which is on my physical option list, but I can't get the audiobook for it. Come on, somebody. Why is it so hard this time? Oop, I see Dead 11 in the background. Do I have the audiobook? I know it's not even like the focus of this picture, but I'm desperate at this point. Okay, let's see. Over to Libby. Yes, there we go. Yay! There is our next audiobook, and it's due in 4 days, so that's the perfect motivation. A little scared that it is a 13-hour long audiobook, but oh well, we'll just do that because I was not finding any other options. Don't you love how she just, like, I'm not doing anything right now. Let me just plop myself on top of your arm. Huh, Kit? You just want to be on camera? You want to say hi? Thank you so much. Maybe you were the good luck. I was finally able to find a book. All right, so I am going to start the audiobook. Well, I finish up my workday. It's currently 2 p.m., so we have a few hours to get into it. And yeah, when I finish work and it looks like we have a good amount of votes for the physical read, I'll let you know what the winner is. Checking in with a car update because we are out running some errands now. I went to the library and paid for the book that Poe tried to eat, so she's all mine now. I still feel so bad about it, but they did not yell at me. They were fine. They just let me pay for it and go. So yeah, we're not letting that happen again. That was way too stressful. And then I picked up possibly our next read, The Night Guest. The poll is actually really annoying right now because like it's tied. And then like the third option is really, really close behind it too. So it's not even like there's going to be a clear winner. Like I can't start anything until something really pulls far ahead or the poll ends. I have been making my way through Dead 11. I only listened to a little bit, and because I'm filming on my phone right now, I forgot to check how far I was. So far, it's fine. So in this one, we have this man as our narrator, and he is telling the story of how his sister Willow disappeared. And the only hint he has is that she went to something called Clifford Island. So he is now going to this island to try and find out what happened. So he just made it to the island. The island is giving off just weird vibes. We had a chapter in the beginning that was messed up, but honestly pretty cool. It's not like anything I've ever read before. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more of that. We don't really know what's going on yet with the residents of this island. It's almost like they're stuck in this like Groundhog Day-esque situation. But yeah, so far we don't really even know much anyways. So yeah, I'm just excited to unravel the mystery of what's going on in this town and where his sister Willow went. I really suck at vlogging this week, but I have an excuse. First, let's talk about my outfits. So, I just got home from my mom's Halloween party. I did not choose to dress up as a rat for no reason. Me and Dan went as Remy and Linguini from Readathons. I will, of course, insert a picture here. This was actually supposed to be our costume last year, and then last minute I changed my mind, so we had all the stuff for it. So yeah, just a very easy, low-key costume, but I wanted to keep it on to update you because earlier today we got the results from the poll. I know I said I was going to check them last night, but I got home and had the worst headache, and like I had it for going on 24 hours at that point, but last night it just got so bad I like couldn't even keep my eyes open, so I actually ended up just listening to more of Dead 11 throughout the night because it was a lot easier to listen to a book than to try reading physically with how bad my head was hurting. I woke up today and it's still hurting, but less so. I really think it's actually because of the Invisaligner I've been wearing. I don't have them on right now because I'm about to wash all my makeup off and brush my teeth and all that. But yeah, I just recently changed the tray, and yeah, this one is not fun so far. I can definitely feel stuff shifting around and it's hurting. So I'm blaming my headache on that. So I'm very thankful that right now we seem to be good. So I'm gonna try to get some reading done now. It is already late. It's already midnight, but you know, we'll just do what we can before we fall asleep. But what you have been waiting for, the results to our Instagram poll are in, and our winner is Graveyard Shift by ML Rio, which, how perfect is my costume to match the rat on the cover. Like, how cute. It's so silly. I love this cover. I love rats so much. I used to have a pet rat. I just think they're so cute, and when you tickle them, they giggle. So I don't really get the hatred that some people have towards rats. They are so adorable to me. So yeah, I just thought it was really funny that I decided to dress up as a rat today. All right, that's it for now. I'll talk to you more about how I'm liking Dead 11 tomorrow. I don't feel like talking about it. It's fine. It's still good. Just, yeah, it's late and I want to take off my makeup and read. So we'll talk about that one tomorrow. But right now, the plan is this. And then for the rest of the weekend, because I have sucked at reading this week, we're going to do a little 24-hour readathon. 48-hour readathon. We'll see. I just want to read a lot this weekend, and I might try to stay up extra late tomorrow to get more done. I would really, really love to actually read all 4 of the novellas that I put up in the poll. Like, it would be incredible if I could finish 4 books this weekend, and with them all being pretty short, I think it's possible. Plus, we have the audiobook for Dead 11, so that would be really cool to get done too. And then non-bookish, I have a pretty chill weekend. We really don't have anything planned. We are thinking of going to a coffee shop tomorrow morning to read and get coffee, obviously. So that will be good reading time. And then I really want to decorate the house for Halloween. So that will be a very good audiobook listening activity. So yeah, that's the plan for the weekend. And I'm tired now. So I'm going to say goodnight now and go get ready for bed. Oh my God, that was so good. That was incredible. 5 stars. I need more. I need a full novel of this. Like, are you kidding? You're gonna end it like that? Oh my God, I love this. I love this so much. What do I even say about this? First of all, the writing is stunning. ML Rio, like, just has such a way with words. Oh, at the end, I have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I don't know if they all come with this. There's a super cute section of further reading, which is just like more books about mushrooms and rats and like the themes of like what happened in here. And then there's also a bookshelf for each character, like what they would have on their personal bookshelves and reading. So that was super cute. And then there's also a playlist and even 2 drink recipes. One appears in the book as something Theo serves somebody because he's a bartender. And then the other recipe is like a nod to an experiment in the book. Like, I just love that. What like a cute extra thing to put. So I guess I can tell you what this is about now. So as you know, the synopsis tells us this is about 5 people who every night they cross paths in a cemetery. But it's more than that. They have more of a connection than you're led to believe through the synopsis. So it's actually about 5 people who have insomnia, and every night they just have found themselves smoking at midnight, and for different reasons they all end up in the cemetery. Because of this like shared experience of always being in the same spot, they have become friends. They talk, they text, they literally plan to meet up at midnight. And they're all just sort of lonely people struggling with not being able to sleep and having these other people who understand them. So as we know, one night they are on their usual smoke break and there is an open grave. And this cemetery that they smoke in is like ancient. Like nobody actually gets buried there anymore. So it's very strange that it's open. So 2 of them decide to hide out and see if they can see anything. And sure enough, a man comes back. They call him their gravedigger, and he puts something into the hole, and our story goes from there. It was so interesting. So sort of our main character, she's the perspective we get in the very first chapter, Eddie. She is a college student and she works for the college paper. She has been covering these accidents that they're calling hostile incidents. So think of literally Your Shadow Half Remains, where just people are suddenly out of nowhere having these violent episodes where they're hurting themselves, they're hurting others, and it's like super uncalled for. They don't know what's setting them off, but it's happened enough that like it's becoming a thing. So she is writing stories on that, and what they uncover in this graveyard might have something to do with them. I'm not going to say anything else because it's very, very short. And like another thing, I was not expecting to tab this going into it, but like I couldn't help it. It was so good. You can't even see because I used like light purple tabs. It was the perfect mix of like horror and eerie setting and mystery that like I had to keep reading. I had to know what was going to happen. And I just loved the like detective aspect of it, of them trying to figure out what was going on. And I really liked that we got a chapter from each character, and it like followed and furthered the investigation because we would flip to the next character who was like doing the next piece of investigating, and it was so fun. She also just writes like such full characters. Like for so short of a book, I very quickly was able to distinguish who was who and like their personality traits, and like it was just incredible. This one wasn't too spooky unless you have a phobia of rats. There are a lot of scenes, well, not a lot of scenes with rats. There's one scene with a rat, but it talks about rats a lot, and it also talks about mushrooms a lot. So it's another one of those like fungi horror books that I feel like have become very popular recently. I'm thinking of Mexican Gothic and What Moves the Dead. It was pretty similar to the eerie feeling of What Moves the Dead. I think if you liked that one, you would like this one. I'm really sad that now I don't have another ML Rio to read. I might go back and read If We Were Villains again because it's been a while since I've reread that, and I'm just really missing her writing. Like, it's so good. I can't believe she can write such a good story in such a small amount of pages, and like, it's just gorgeous writing. I want to pick up another novella. It's 10 o'clock now. Finishing this took way longer than I thought it was going to. I ended up taking a 2-hour nap because I suck. But yeah, I just had a coffee, so we're gonna make it up and we're gonna stay up late and just see how much we can read. So I am going to do another roll for Spookoplathon and see what my next prompt would be. If one of the novellas I'm trying to finish this weekend fits, we'll use it. If not, I'll just save the roll and pick it back up after this weekend when I finish reading what I want to get done this weekend. It is once again time to roll for our next prompt. I'm hoping it's a good one and I can use it for what I'm trying to read this weekend. Last one we did was Feed Scroll. I'm using Dead 11 for this space. We're rolling now to pick my next physical read because I just finished Graveyard Shift. And we got 6. And we are getting the Bram Stoker space, which I don't remember what that is, so I have to look it up on the guide. One moment. Okay, so the Bram Stoker space is the creator of Dracula, read a book with vampires, or read a book by Bram Stoker. I don't have any Stoker on the TBR this year. I do have many books about vampires on the TBR. I was saving most of them for Vampathon, but I think I could read one a little early. However, I don't have any books about vampire on the TBR for this weekend, so I am going to save this prompt for next week, and we'll complete it in next week's vlog. So I'm gonna roll one more time, see if I can fit any of the prompts to the novellas I want to read this weekend, and if not, we'll just have our first 2 rolls for next week ready to go. And we got a 4 and a 2, which is 6. And we got the spooky prompt. Okay, I feel like I can work with this. So spooky is anything you would consider spooky. This can be horror, a vampire book, or even something with an eerie cover. This prompt is solely open to your interpretation. And I have the perfect pick for this one, so let's go grab that. It is The Night Guest, and I cannot say this author's name. I will try and look it up later so I can pronounce it correctly. But yeah, I don't think this one is like your typical horror. It's not like a creature feature that I know of, but it definitely has themes that I'm like genuinely freaked out by. And that is like stuff happening to you while you're sleeping, while you're unconscious and not knowing what's going on and waking up and just weird stuff has happened. Like that is so scary to me. So I think this is definitely gonna do the job and creep me out. I kind of told you already when I was making the poll that this is about a woman who has trouble sleeping, and then one day she goes to sleep with like an Apple Watch on and she wakes up and it has recorded that she's walked over 40,000 steps in the night, and just like increasingly weird stuff starts happening. She's waking up with injuries. Nobody believes her. So yeah, I'm gonna see how far I can get through this. It's a little under 200 pages. I would love if I could finish it in one sitting. That's definitely the plan. And yeah, we're gonna try not to fall asleep with another book having to do with insomnia and sleep issues. Hello again. I have now made it to the 50% mark of The Night Guest. I'm reading with my book light, so that's what we're using right now. I can't believe how fast this is going. A lot of the chapters are like one sentence or like one page, so very short chapters, very easy to read, very fast. It's so good so far. I'm definitely getting the creepy feeling. She is doing things in her sleep and then waking up and having no memory besides being super, super tired and sore the next day. She goes to a few doctors. They can't figure out what's wrong. So she sets up a camera to record herself, and like the scenes with the camera, so scary. Like what? I would instantly die if that were me. And I was watching the film back and that's what I saw. So, yeah. I feel like there's definitely going to be a reveal. Something, we don't have all the information of why this is happening. And you can kind of tell that she might know why this is happening. And yeah, I think it's going to be way creepier than I was expecting it to be. I thought this was just going to be like a creepy sleepwalking story, but I think it's going to be more than that. And I'm so excited. So I'm going to keep reading and let you know what happens. That was wild. And I like need somebody to explain the ending to me because what? Yeah, that was way spookier than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just my fear of like stuff happening while you're sleeping, but no, it went there. I think it's a 5-star. My only complaint is there is animal death mentioned in this. There's no like scenes of killing, but there is a description of it after, and I kind of skimmed that. It was a little too much and made me sad, but besides that, that was really good. So it's now 1:30, but I'm still feeling pretty good. So I think I'm gonna start my next book and probably get into bed. So I won't update you again. Hello and good morning. We are having a lazy, cozy Sunday morning reading. I made some pancakes for breakfast and I am just trying to finish It Came from the Trees first thing this morning. So I started it last night and I got a few chapters in, and it's definitely got some creepy vibes to it. So in it, what? Are you mad I'm not petting you? So we start out and we have these two young best friends. Their names are Jenna and Reese. Jenna is our main character. And they are camping with the Cottontail Scouts, which are like Girl Scouts from what I'm understanding. And they're kind of the outcasts of the group. It seems like they're the only two black girls in the group, and the scout leader is just being kind of like aggressive towards them. She keeps yelling at them that they're not keeping up with the group. She keeps assigning them to collect firewood, and they're like the only girls getting told to work while the other girls are like sitting around doing nothing. So yeah, there's just some tension. The scoutmaster is not treating them fairly, but at least they have each other and they both really enjoy being in the woods. Reese is like a little bit of an expert on like plants and stuff, so it's super cute that they're like walking through and she's pointing out the plants to Jenna, and Jenna's grandfather was like a park ranger or something. So they're both very experienced in the wilderness in this area that they're in. And as they're hiking to their next campsite, the girls are in the back of the group and they hear something weird in the trees. So the first thing is there are no birds, there's no other animal noises, and like right away that's kind of an indicator that like there's a predator around. So Reese is bending down to tie her shoe and Jenna looks over her head and like sees this figure poke its head out from the trees, and it's basically Bigfoot is what we're led to believe. Jenna doesn't call it Bigfoot, but the descriptions are very much there. It has human-like hands, but it's completely covered in like fur or hair, and she says it kind of just looks like a really big ape. So it ends up hiding back behind the tree by the time Reese stands up and looks for it. So she doesn't see anything. She sees like the trees moving, but she doesn't actually see this figure. So they keep walking. They don't encounter this thing anymore. They sort of forget about it and they just get their camp ready for the night. So then our next scene is the girls laying in their tent going to sleep, and they are awoken in the middle of the night by something is making noise out in the campsite. Something's walking around, and Reese unzips the tent to see what's going on. And this scene was like so startling, so scary. She is abducted out of the tent by Bigfoot, and Jenna is left not knowing where her friend is. So then we fast forward, Jenna is home and the search for Reese has begun. A lot of people are trying to discredit what Jenna saw and say that Reese just ran away. Jenna dreamed this thing that happened and nobody really believes her. So at this point, Jenna is trying to convince her family of what happened and is doing internet research on other disappearances that have happened in this part of the woods. There was another boy that went missing a few years ago, and she just really wants to get back to the woods and to find her friend. So I'm at the 30% mark now, and Jenna has finally convinced her family to let her go back out to the woods. She has this plan. I'm a little nervous for this young girl and what she thinks she's gonna do. I feel like she's gonna sneak away in the middle of the night and go searching for her friend alone, and I'm so scared for her. So we're going to see what happens there. She's out with a new scout troop called the Owlet, and she's going to start looking for her friend. So I really hope she finds her alive, and I hope nothing bad happens. But with so much of the book left, I'm like really scared about what's going to happen with this Bigfoot thing. I'm going to keep reading. My plan is to finish it real quick, and then we'll do some stuff around the house. Hi, it's a little bit later now, and I have finished It Came from the Trees, and then we went grocery shopping so that we don't have to go out tomorrow on a holiday. And now I'm going to start decorating the house for Halloween. First step is to get it clean, so that's actually what I'm gonna go do now. But I thought I would give you my final thoughts and rating for It Came from the Trees by Allie Russell. I don't know if I've said the author's name this entire time. I ended up really enjoying it. I decided to go with a 5-star rating. It's just something about middle grade horror is so fun. It's so different from what I always read. So every time I pick one up, it's just almost refreshing to have sort of a happy ending in a horror book. Not to spoil it, but I feel like most middle grades have a happy-ish ending. So yeah, I definitely love dark, disturbing horror as much as the next person, probably more than your average person, but every once in a while, like books like this that end with like giving you a little bit of hope and just making you happy, it's nice. So yeah, this one did that job. And that's not to say the Bigfoot scenes were actually pretty creepy. I would not want to be camping alone in the woods while reading this. The scenes with Bigfoot like went there. They were descriptive, they were gory. It like didn't hold back just because it was a middle grade horror book. Like it was good and it didn't feel that much different than an adult horror book. So yeah, last time we spoke, Jenna was just joining this other scout troop, and I loved that aspect of this. She definitely went into the troop like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm just here to find my friend and find out what happened to her. And then by the end of it, she had made friends. And I love this group of girls that was in this second scout troop that she joined. Like, she definitely had a bad experience with the first one, and the way everything was just so different with this second group of girls, it was just so nice. It's exactly what Jenna deserved, and like that's what I mean by sometimes you need a middle grade to just like restore your faith in humanity. I really liked that aspect. I really liked just the way they came together and they became friends and they fought this evil thing and they helped each other survive. And then the final reveal right at the end, I was so happy. I was so happy that was included the way it was. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Just really, really fun. If you like middle grade horror, this is definitely one you should check out. If you don't read middle grade horror, maybe give this one a try. I thought it was a really great one. So now that that's over, I'm feeling pretty good about being able to read 3 out of the 4 novellas that we had planned for this weekend. There is still one more on the list, but as the night's going on, I fear we will not have time for it. So while I'm doing my cleaning, I'm going to devote all of that time to listening to my audiobook, which is Dead 11 by Jimmy Giuliano, I think is the author. I have not listened to it in a few days. So last time I listened, I made it to the 50% mark. I'm hoping that I can finish it up tonight and be able to wrap up this vlog and not have to carry it into the next one. With that one, it's still fine. I have a lot of questions that I'm hoping will be answered soon. I'm just not really clear what's going on. So I told you about the Groundhog Day-esque thing that was going on, but I think it's more than that. Like, I think something bad happens if the residents of this town like break their routine. We did sort of get a scene where that happened, but like I don't really understand what happened. I just know it's bad. I just know these people, it seems like they're stuck in the past. They don't really use modern technology. Actually, our main character, Willow, the one who we know has gone missing, we're reading her diary, and when she first got to the town, she was walking around with her cell phone and somebody literally like threw it out of her hands and smashed it and like yelled at her for using it on the island. So I'm just looking for answers. I just have a lot of questions about what's going on. And yeah, I just hope they're answered soon, because at this point I'm just too confused to be enjoying it. But yeah, I'm gonna get to that and I'll let you know what's going on in a little bit. Hello, I'm gonna turn on the light because the lighting in here is actually not great from this, but I wanted to show you my progress. This neon sign up, it looks so bright. There we go. I got lights everywhere. Oh, I also forgot to show you my flowers earlier. But yeah, I got the entryway done. I showed you that. And then I've been working on the kitchen. And then the living room is always such a big job. I am leaving it for last. Might even do it tomorrow. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I wanted to update you. Okay, there we go. But I wanted to update you before I get too much farther in the book. I am now at the 80% mark, and we just kind of got our big reveal of why this town is stuck in the past, and I love it. I'm obsessed. Tell me more. Like, I really hope this ends up to be like true and it's not just like a legend, because that's a lot of what we've learned about this island so far, is all of their legends and stuff, and I want to believe them. I want them all to be true. So I feel like with 20% left of the book, we're gonna get more reveals. But yeah, I'm really excited if it's gonna be like this vibe. I was not expecting that. We haven't really gotten too much horror otherwise. It's really just reading sort of more like a mystery. I don't know. It's still, this reveal has done a lot for my enjoyment. So far, it's just been like meh, like fine. I guess maybe a 3 it's been sitting at. If this goes the way I want it to, the rating could definitely go a lot higher. Keep listening and I'll show you more once we have more decorated. Hello again, friends. I am going to be honest and let you know that I completely forgot to film my review and my final clip for Dead 11 and this vlog, and it is now the next week and I have dyed my hair. So I kind of want that to be a reveal in the next vlog, even though I did already post about it on Instagram. But you know, I just don't want to come in at the end of this vlog with a completely different hair color. So you're getting a voiceover for the final review. Sorry for doing that so much this week. I promise I'll do better next week. So yeah, I ended up finishing Dead 11. And unfortunately, this one did not get any better. I decided on a final 3-star rating. What I was talking about with the reveal in the last clip, like it didn't really go anywhere. They just kind of mentioned it and then like that was it. They didn't elaborate. And then once we kind of found out about what actually happened to Willow, I was left feeling very underwhelmed. So since it's already been a week since I finished this, I don't really remember too much else about the ending. I just remember not being impressed and being very happy to finally be done with this. So again, sorry to end on not the best note, but at least we got 3 5 stars out of this video. So I think that's a win. That is all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one, spooky friends. Bye.